We're here today at a particular time and place to establish together a particular reference about what we would like to believe in regard to our fundamental certainty. And we're going to begin with the aspect of the idea that each one of us as a human being knows perfectly well that he's not from here. The idea that you would entertain with me in our course in miracles, a perspective of association of light form that constitute what appears to be your body formulation, cannot not include within the perspectives of the idea of the illusion of your body form that this is not where you're from. Shall we practice it just for a moment as we begin the idea of this Course in Miracles? I'm speaking to you now. I'm going to assume a body form for a minute for you. All right. Okay, here I am. I'm going to be a body just for a moment within an illusion of the idea of galactic associations of time and give you a reference within my mind that I just stopped by here for a moment to tell you that you're not from here. Remember at the beginning of the video? What I'm offering you is a certainty that you know perfectly well what I'm speaking of. Where is it? Somewhere within the relationship that you have established in the idea of a correspondence of body form that requires a continuing conversion of the perspective of the idea of associations of conceptual mind that have bound you in the notion of a reflection of yourself contained within your body. Why are we questioning it together? We're questioning it within the perspective of an evolved certainty that it couldn't possibly be life. Do you see that? In other words, the images that are representing our need to return, and we use the term heaven, and we're going to use the term hell as well if you want to, can only indicate to us the certainty that the refraction or reflection of light associations are giving us images of reflection of ourselves that take on visions that find correspondences within space-time that represent a no place in space-time. Since they're very simply a moment in time that we came into in order to identify ourselves in that galactic association. This world is not where you're from, and you know it. So that our lesson today in the episodes that we have been pursuing are efforts to get you to fundamentally acknowledge. Listen with me. Remember, this world is not your home. And most particularly, if this world is not your home, it will be impossible for you to say two worlds. Can you look at this with me? Say to me, I can't see two worlds. Yes, if I'm getting a reflection of light concerning my body form, and this again is our Course in Miracles, it must be an idea contained within my own conceptual mind that it's possible for me to represent a body form in the moment within my own enclosure that I have assumed what we might call a vision of perspective of associations of light that find correspondence in the nature of my thought process and reflect back to me another thought process that condemn me to the idea of the formulation of light that doesn't allow me to see the entirety of the light that's actually surrounding me. Can you see this with me? In this regard, I'm trapped in a cycle of light from which the particulars in which I've identified myself in that correspondence prevent me at any single moment from enjoying in the truest reality that I can represent to you, returning home. And we're going to share it together for just a moment, because at the beginning of this episode we pointed out to you that somewhere within your association with yourself, you know perfectly well that you're not from here. Will you practice it with me? Say to me, I'm not from here. Yeah. The body formulation that constitutes the idea of an illusion of light form that gives you an identity within that association is totally meaningless within the perspective of the possibility that outside of this parameter of light there's a universe that extends eternally in all directions from a particular episode that previously identified yourself in this perspective. We've heard that described in a lot of ways, haven't we? We're dealing with a fundamental idea and the beauty of the idea. Of course, most of you know how much I like the idea that we're into a once-in-a-future cosmos association of ourselves, all right? And in fact, are representing, and let's look at it together, the life cycle of galaxies. Some of you probably will have had enough of what I intend to present to you, and my certainty it's possible within the formulation of your mind to recognize a moment of conversion agencies where you will see immediately that you're the galaxy within itself. That will allow you the particular ideas that surrounding you are other molecular associations of galactic identities that represent light forms separate from what appears to be yours. Are you with me with this? So that returning home will be nothing but an inspection of the association of your mind in regard to the possibility that out there and surrounding you is a universe of energy, a power of light that operates with a magnitude 1 billion times greater than that you're imposing on yourself in the formulation of the idea that represents your body form. Practice. Remember, I am not a body. I am free. There you freed it. I am still as God created me. Share this with me. That was a moment of an extragalactic association. It begins with the fundamental premise as you begin to mature with your own mind in the idea that we can communicate in ranges of light energy that transcend the notation of light itself, are the entire particulars of my galactic idea about myself. They simply represent to you the certainty, are you listening? This is not your home. So that when you look out into the galaxy, the refraction and reflection that you're getting contained within your own mind are denying you access to a communicative agency of thought that I intend to offer you within my body physical perspective. In my certainty, the time itself, within the idea of cause and effect, is not passing. And that in fact, there is no relationship to your idea of correspondence, of where you're from. And my involved certainty through the illumination of our shared minds that your home is everywhere.